Hey everybody, I wanted to give you something of a bonus module here. It's an extension really of module 3, which is the expansion of your brand. How to start to attract more friends, more fans, more followers to you. So what I've done is just created a list from all these 77 people that we talked to. I looked for the common themes in the do's and don'ts. And I just want to quickly go through the do's and don'ts, create something of a checklist for you, maybe a roadmap, maybe a little bit of a warning when it comes to expanding your brand. Okay, we've already talked about the value of social media in network marketing. We've talked about the importance of creating your brand, what you stand for, what you stand against, what are those brand attributes. And then we've been talking about how do you expand your brand? In other words, how do you get more eyeballs? How do you build your community to be bigger and you become more influential with that community? So here's some of the do's and don'ts. Here's a list of the do's, the things that you should do and pay attention to. Number one, and these again are in no particular order. One is show your personal self, your authentic self, your real self, your transparent self, but your best self. You don't want to show a terrible photo of you in your profile picture. You want to make sure, if you go through some photos, put the best one up that you've got. If you do a video, you don't like it, do it again until you get it to the stage that it's your best self. You can have a down day, but don't be a whiner. Don't be a complainer. Your best views, your most interesting self in the public arena. If you're having relationship trouble, that's not a good place to be that's not a good thing to be putting onto your profile. And again, we've been talking a lot about Facebook, but again, this works with any platform. If Facebook gets usurped by something else, then go there. Whatever it happens to be, doesn't matter. But regardless of the platform, I'm really upset with my wife right now. Do you think that's going to be a good thing? Keep it personal, but your best self. You don't need to air your dirty laundry. You don't need to have an online social media fight unless it's tactical. I've had respectful disagreements with prominent social media people like Gary Vaynerchuk, people like Dave Ramsey, but that was on purpose because it was in alignment with my brand. My audience needed to see me defending that, but you'll notice if you ever saw me having those conversations with those people, you'll notice that was very respectful to them as people. We disagreed on the concept, but I didn't go on the other side and make it ugly. So be careful. So the first principle here is personal, but the best personal. Your best self, your most optimistic self, right? The problem-solving part of you, the prettiest part of you, that's going to make you attractive to your audience. So that's number one. Number two, anytime you could put in your pets or your interests or your kids or your hobbies or travel or books you're reading, that personalizes you. And it also helps to define for people what you're all about. So anytime pets, your personal life, within reason. Sometimes if you don't want to show your kids on social media, some people don't. That's okay. Just decide where you want to go. If you want to show the vacation, show the vacation. You want to show the travel, show the travel. You want to show your hobbies, show some of your hobbies, especially your hobbies, because that's going to be in alignment with your passion. Books you're reading, et cetera, et cetera. Third, search for people with similar interests than you. Search on all platforms. Who has similar interests that like you do? And connect with those people. We like to do business with people that we are alike. If you're like me and I'm like you, all of a sudden we can, and we define that through a couple different ways. If we both like the same things or if we both hate the same things. Sometimes if we both don't like something, that builds a stronger bond than if we both like something. So whatever that happens to be, similar interest, reach out to those people. Point number 4, pictures and video. Pictures and video. People are visual in today's marketplace. Make sure that you're responding with pictures, infographics, video, as much as you possibly can. Understand the first time you do it, it's not going to be the best time, but you're going to get better. You're going to get better. You're going to figure out your own style And you're going to come up, you're going to see what people respond to and what starts to attract people to your community. If you're tagging people, ask for permission to tag. Unless you're throwing up a celebrity quote and you're quoting them and showing a picture, you're not going to get, they're not going to respond to that, but you're actually showing the quote. So you're being responsible. Make sure it's an accurate quote. When it comes to hashtags, really, really important. Hashtags are important to your business, something that I don't do enough of, but especially around your passion, your brand, whatever your brand is, whatever you've decided that it's going to be, come up with the hashtags that go in alignment with that brand and hashtag your post, hashtag your photos, hashtag your videos, hashtag as many things as you can hashtag. So people with like interests, when they look that up on the internet, they're going to find you. They're going to find you because you're hashtagging those particular things, okay? Get consistent with those particular hashtags around your brand. I don't know which number it is, forget which number, but pay attention to your likers. Whoever's liking your stuff, pay attention to those people. Like them back, friend them up, send them a thank you, comment if they comment on something, make sure that you reply to those comments. At some point, you're going to get so big, like I'm so big, I can't reply to all the comments and I can't like back all the likers. But until you get to that point, reply to every comment inside the comment, because their whole world will see the reply. Everything inside their world it'll go to the top of their feeds. When they like something, thank them for the like, connect with them. Be an appreciative brand. Because if people are reaching out and they're liking your stuff and they're interacting with your stuff, that's an honor. Just be appreciative of the honor that you are receiving because of their attention. Next is to create curiosity. We're going to talk about this in the next module when we're talking about how do you start converting your community, your friends and your fans and your followers. How do you convert those into prospects? But I'll leave it at this for this kind of do's and don'ts. Think about posting curious posts. In other words, tell people you found a solution to a problem, but don't give them the solution. Tell them you're excited to be able to work for yourself, but don't tell them what you do. Tell them that you're grateful that you're able to take your kids to lunch in the middle of a school day or go visit them at lunch in the middle of the school day, but don't tell them how you pulled that off. Join, like, and follow people, groups, and pages that are in alignment with your brand. Get connected in those communities. Find out what's important to them. Find out who the most important people are. Get connected. Network on purpose. Get out there on purpose and connect. And part of the on purpose thing is be friendly on purpose. I'm an introverted person, okay? So sometimes, and a lot of people don't believe me when I say that, is I lose energy in a crowd of people. I lose energy when I'm like out there connecting. So I have to work, and network marketing taught me to work, to be friendly on purpose. So if you're just friendly with your community online, just as a tactic in order to be able to recruit them into your business, you don't really care about them, they're going to find that out. They're going to find that out. If you're not really a friendly person, if you're not really a person who cares about other people, if you're not authentic, if you're not sincere, they're going to find it out. But if you are sincere, if you do really want to help other people with your product or service, if you do want to help other people and you want to grow your business, help them grow their business, if you do care, then just decide to be friendly on purpose. Don't let the internet turn you into a hermit sitting, in the basement of your house in your pajamas, clicking buttons going, ha, 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 I'm fooling the system. I never have to talk to anybody. This is great. Because ultimately, to succeed in network marketing, you're going to have to convert this online relationship to an offline relationship, this virtual relationship to a personal relationship. So you're going to have to work on your skills here, but a really important part of this is to be friendly on purpose, to care about other people on purpose, to be generous with your compliments and your time and your emotions, right? Your interaction on purpose. So that's one, is be friendly on purpose. Ask people to add you. This is an interesting comment because you're going to get limited to the number of people you can add to your community when you're reaching out to people. So when you connect with someone or they like your stuff, they say, hey, do me a favor and send me a friend request. and let's get connected. That will help, because if you ask people to add you, that doesn't count against your numbers when it comes to the algorithms inside of the social media platforms. So just as a little tiny thing, ask people to friend you up. Ask people to add you to your community, okay? So another thing, a little tactic down this road, is remove friend requests that you've sent out and people haven't responded to. If you've sent them out and people have not responded and those stack up over some period of time, a reasonable period of time, that counts against you in the social media platforms. So they're going to start to limit you. They're going to start to throttle you down because, again, you're going out there and clearly the people that you're trying to connect with aren't interested in connecting with you. So if you start seeing those pile up, just remove those requests. You can go in there and remove the requests that you've sent out to other people. When it comes to post frequency, post daily. Make sure you're posting every single day, regardless of platform. Today, this moment, the sweet spot is 4 to 6 times a day. Photo, video, interview, quote, infographic, picture, right? Post 4 to 6 times a day. Next, stay in platform compliance. Really be careful that you're not sending out too many friend requests a day, that you're not posting in too many groups. If you get flagged, throttle it back. This is a long tail game. You know, we're going to talk about, we're here to win the race, but we're not here to win it in one day. You're going to be building a brand, but you're not going to build a brand in one day. You're going to expand your influence, but you're not going to expand your influence in one day. You're going to continue to do the things that have been successful for you in your offline world in network marketing. And at the same time, you're going to start to be building your online influence, and you're going to blend the two together. So here's what's required. One of the biggest do's out there is be patient. Be patient. Adjust, adapt, be patient. Stay consistent, be patient. Be persistent, be patient. I want you to, as you're going through this, not consider where you're going to be in a month. And many of you are going to have big results in a month, okay? But think about where you're going to be in a year. Okay, I started my social media efforts seriously about 7 years ago. Now today, about 5 million people a week consume all of the Network Marketing Pro content created by me each week. Over 5 million people every week consume content on various platforms. Now, that wasn't the first week. It wasn't the first year. It took a while. I've got a huge following on Facebook today, but that didn't start there. Yeah, I've got a large following on YouTube today, but I didn't pay attention to even that any part of YouTube for a long time. That was just a hosting platform. You know, I've got a growing Instagram influence, but it didn't start there. It started very small, right? Same thing with Twitter, same thing with LinkedIn, same thing with all these other platforms. You know, what is big now started really small, and it took time. It took consistency. It took persistence. It took big heart. It took adapting to change. It took learning and growing. You know, I've got coaches. You spent a few dollars on this course. You know, what I'm sharing with you, you know how many dollars I've paid to be able to just give you some of these concepts? You're like, well, this is simple. Guess what? Simple's hard. Complicated's easy. I can give you every stat in the world. I can give you a list of statistics as long as your arm. I can give you, 58 pages worth of checklist items to do. But that's not going to duplicate. It's not. What I'm teaching you is the concepts that have worked for me and that have worked for all these other people condensed down in a way that'll duplicate, okay? So these are some of the do's. Some of the do's in our little bonus feature here. Now let's talk about some of the don'ts. And when it comes to the don'ts, it's so easy to create a list like this. I mean, with the 77 people we interviewed, boy, did they have a lot of advice on the don'ts. When it comes to my personal experience, boy, do I have a lot of advice on the don'ts. And guess where this comes from? All of our shared frustration of either doing it wrong ourselves or watching people. Oh my gosh. Watching people make network marketing look so bad on social media because they refuse to take a look at this list, because they've either got bad advice or bad instincts to be able to think that this is going to work. But let me give you some advice on the don'ts, no particular order. Here's one of them. Don't fill your list, your friends list on your personal page with a bunch of other distributors. Don't go targeting other distributors and other network marketing companies and say, hey, come follow me over here. Don't go targeting people in your cross line or even in your downline. Your list in your personal page should be filled with two groups of people. One is your real friends, people you know, people you've met, people face-to-face, people you interact with, people that you're passionate about. That's number one. Number two, your followers, your tribe, your people who are interested in you, people who are interested in your brand, these people that are going to become new friends, and many of them become prospects in your business. Now, even if you don't accept somebody as a friend, they can still follow you on your personal page, so that's great. But you want to make sure that people who want to follow you, that could potentially become a great prospect, that you have room in your list of friends in order to be able to add them. Because once you do that, you can turn on their notifications. You can start seeing their posts. You can start interacting with them in a more meaningful way. You can start liking and commenting and private messaging and doing a whole bunch of things that are much easier to do with your friends than you can with your followers, okay? So don't fill up your friends list. Just don't be in a race thinking, because that's what I did at the very beginning. I raced to 5,000 people as fast as I could get there because, that was like social credibility to me, right? It's not. Guess how many I have today? About 3,000. Okay, I have 80,000, 90,000, whatever, I don't know what the number is, followers that people follow my personal page, but I only have like 3,000. These are people I really interact with, people that I spend time with, okay? Now, I don't use that to turn those people into prospects for my business, but you're going to use it to turn some of those people that are following you into prospects for your product or for your opportunity. So make sure that you have space, okay? Now, here's the things that drive everybody crazy. Posts like this. Join me in the fastest growing billion-dollar incredible product that does everything. Join me. It's going to be amazing. People don't join that. People instantly turn it off. People are not at all impressed with a join me post. That includes, let me tell you about my great product. Let me tell you about this product that changes lives. Let me tell you about the product that does this and the product that does that. And it's got breaking all these records and it's done all this stuff. I'm telling you, there's a way to do that, and that's not the way. There's a way to let people know about your products. That is not the way. Next, the same thing as your company. Oh, my company's breaking every record. Our company's better than all the other companies out there in network marketing. So talking about your company, nobody cares. Nobody's interested. People are going to run the other way. People are going to go, oh, this isn't a brand. This is just a commercial. Join me. I'm just looking for 3 leaders. I only got spots for 5 people. I'm going to personally work with this group of people. Join me. And even worse than join me, or your great product, your opportunity, I'm looking for 3 leaders. You won't just put that on your page. You'll go put it on other people's pages. The worst. You'll literally, without anybody's permission, just go put that nonsense, that spam, up on other people's pages. And then you know what you'll do? You'll go and find somebody else's group and you'll start sending private messages to everybody in that group. Join me. I got this great product. I got this great opportunity. I'm just looking for 3 leaders. Come join me, $1 billion opportunity, get in at the ground floor. Please, it's so bad. Spamming it, posting it, tagging people on it, putting it on people's timelines, putting it inside you replying to people's posts with that nonsense. It's so bad. And the people that continue, it creates regulatory issues because you're making all kinds of claims in those types of posts too. Our product cures this and our product cures that. People making millions. You could be next. The regulatory agencies of the world, guess what they look at? They look at that and they go, please. And they blame your company for it. Your company gets additional regulatory scrutiny because if you go out there and do that, it's going to create a problem for them. So first of all, let's just study results. It doesn't work. I did a show on Network Marketing Pro years ago called, Advice for Social Media Idiots. And that was what it was all about. This lazy, I'm going to make it up in numbers. And some people are in like developed countries or developing countries or whatever. So they just think if they just spam everybody in the world, they find everybody in the world and they just keep sending their links, eventually they'll get somebody. But the amount of damage that they do to themselves and to the profession, to their companies, in the pursuit of getting that one person that responds to that, think about the quality of the person that responds to that. Do you think those people have a big business? No, they do not have a big business as a result of this tactic. So here's another don't. Online fighting. Get in a big feud with somebody and go nuts. Now again, occasionally I've gotten into a feud, right? Sometimes I've regretted doing it. Other times I had to be very careful. I use it as an educational opportunity to as a brand building experience, but sometimes people just get in a fight and they say, yo, you're a jerk. No, you're a jerk. And it turns into this big, huge social media war. It's not worth it for you. Even if you get eyeballs, it doesn't build your business. It doesn't define you. Unless somebody just absolutely insults the people in your brand. If they do that, then I think in a classy way, you need to defend your tribe. You need to defend the people that you're working with, your community, your belief system. Go ahead and defend it. That's fine. But do it with respect. There's a way to do it with respect. So make sure that you do that. Here's another one. Obscenity. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. The arrogance of some people to use obscenity to make a point on social media, not worth it. Just not worth it. You take a huge part of your audience, even people who are interested in your brand, and you send them away. It doesn't get you a result. It costs you and it doesn't buy you anything. Oh, you're cool. You don't care what people think. You're not politically correct. Fine, whatever. It still costs you more than it buys you. I promise. It just does. So obscenity, I'll tip over occasionally and tell people I give a damn, but that's about as far as I go. I'm not going to use some of the big boy, obscenity words. And we've had people even on our stage at Network Marketing Pro or GoPro Recruiting Mastery that used obscenity. We said, in order for you to come back, we have to have a non-profanity clause, which they've accepted. So it's kind of a boundary for us inside of our community. And in my opinion, it's that person is looked at as less classy, less professional, less disciplined, less mature than they need to be. Okay, so just understand what this does to your brand. Complaining is another thing. If you're just always going to complain all the time, people are going to get tired of listening to you complain. If you talk about a situation and you talk about a solution, people are interested. If you talk about, boy, I hate it that people get bullied, but, here's a suggestion of what we can do about it. Oh, people are all in. But if it's just complaining, I hate my job, I hate this, the commute sucks, whatever, it'd be better if you just said, I look back to a few years ago when I had to commute and it was the worst part of my day, and I'm so happy today that I don't have to sit in rush hour to serve somebody else's dreams. That's much better post than more curiosity-driven post than just complaining. Here's another thing I see inside of network marketing, and a lot of our people that we interviewed also witnessed, and is a big problem. It's a big don't. It will hurt your business, is bashing other companies. You might be proud of your company. You might think it's better than some other network marketing company, but bashing other people's network marketing companies, other people's direct selling companies is just bad form. It's not going to get you a long-term result, and it ultimately tarnishes the whole profession. You can't tarnish that other company without tarnishing your own, okay? If somebody goes out and just recently there was a a television show where a television personality bashed the network marketing profession. And I just saw today a service-driven company posted that, well, he didn't bash us. He was bashing those product companies. So we're so much better. Come join us. It's so bad in so many different ways. You think that that's a competitive advantage, and it's not. It's hurting the entire profession. Now, if you want to talk about people escaping the matrix and being stuck in a cubicle that they don't like and working for somebody that they don't respect, that's one thing. But bashing each other is another thing. Also talking about bashing jobs. Some people just really like to bash jobs. In other words, talking down on people. Oh, if you go and get a college degree, you're a sucker. Or if you have a job, then you're just one of you're stuck in the matrix and you're part of the problem. And listen, not everybody needs to be an entrepreneur. Not everybody's going to be an entrepreneur. And I've adapted my language around this too, to something like this. If you have an entrepreneurial bone in your body, number one, I hope that you flex that muscle. I hope you try it out. I hope you explore entrepreneurship because it's awesome. And two, if you're going to do it, network marketing, in my opinion, is a better way. Okay, it's better than the other options that are available to you. But I don't say you're an idiot because you're sitting in a job. There's going to be a lot of people that are in jobs, and that's their model of the world. They're not built entrepreneurially. There's employee-minded people, there's entrepreneurially-minded people. Not everybody thinks like an entrepreneur, and that's okay. And if you bash people who have jobs, you're going to alienate a huge part of your audience. You can encourage people to flex their entrepreneurial dreams, encourage people to learn how to think more like an entrepreneur, but don't bash the jobs. Another thing is politics and religion. Going through any political cycle, you're going to have an opportunity, and you're going to feel the need to get, to weigh in your opinion. And here's what's going to happen. What's going to happen is people who would normally be attracted to your brand all of a sudden are going to say, oh, you're on that other side. Whether it's religion or politics, it's not worth the conversation unless that's your brand. If you want to be all Catholic all the time, go for it. If you want to be all Democrat all the time, knock yourself out. If that's what you want your brand to be, but just know that your brand's just going to be that. And you're only going to attract that group. That's fine. But just make sure it's a conscious choice. In your post, what could it buy you and what could it cost you? If the cost potentially is more than it would buy you, be careful in the post that you put in politics and religion. The biggest don't be boring. Don't be boring. Find a way to be interesting. Find a way to put a little jump in your step. Find a way to put a little sparkle in your eye. Find a way to have something interesting. People are looking for something interesting, and their attention levels are so low that you've got to jump out of the page a little bit. Make sure that when you're finding content, you're finding interesting stuff, that you're making interesting comments, that you could be provocative without being boorish. You can challenge people's ideas and thoughts and premises without necessarily calling them an idiot, okay? So don't be boring. Just find a way to be interesting. Jump up and down a little bit. It's okay. You see these people being a little bit out of the box, that's fine. You talk to Richard Branson, he said, sometimes you need some people that are a little bit out of the box. Think about the people that are interesting, the interesting brands. They're not middle of the road all the time. They're a little cutting edge, and it's okay for you to be a little cutting edge, just so long as you're not offensive in your cutting edge. Unless that's a choice that you literally say, oh, I choose to be offensive. That's going to be my brand. Hey, that's up to you. And another big one, another don't, to kind of wrap this bonus module up, is don't lie. Don't stand in front of a car that's not yours and call it yours. Don't take a picture in front of a house that's not yours and call it yours. Don't say that you're at a level of success that you're not at. Don't show a one-time bonus and tell everybody in the world that that's what your monthly income is, right? Don't lie about your level of success. Matter of fact, now more than ever in network marketing, we need to be careful about the appearance that we give to income claims. That we tell people it's so easy, it's so simple, and look how much money I'm making. There's income disclosures that need to happen inside of our profession so people understand the landscape. Not everybody succeeds. That's true in every entrepreneurial endeavor. We're no different. We just have a lower price of entry and a bigger support system and a better backup system in case it doesn't work out. That's what we have, okay? So make sure that you're not representing yourself to be something that you're not, because here's what the internet will do. It will expose you. If you're lying, it'll expose you. If you are exaggerating, it'll expose you. I promise. It's going to come back and it's going to bite you in the butt. I've seen it happen to person after person after person tried to build up their brand, and they were not congruent with what it is that they were doing. They were overstating things. They were lying about things. And those lies came home. And once a person is branded as a liar, it's over. Nobody's going to follow them. And the internet has a long memory. All you got to do is Google that person that was exposed as a liar, and all you see is lie, 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 lie. So don't exaggerate when it's not necessary. So let me just recap. Fill your friends list with actual friends and prospects. Stay away from join me. Here's your great company. Here's your great product. I'm just looking for a few leaders. Spam posting, all these things all over the place. Online fighting, obscenity, complaining, bashing other companies, politics, religion, dirty laundry. Don't be boring. Don't bash people's choice to be able to go out there and make a living, or the fact that they are still in that situation, even if they're frustrated being there. And don't lie about your levels of success. If you kind of follow, that's a summary of my experience and also the 77 people we've interviewed around the world. That's their advice to you on the don'ts. So those are the do's and those are the don'ts. Ladies and gentlemen, my wish for all of you, as always, is that you decide to become a network marketing professional. You decide to go pro, because it is a stone cold fact that we have a better way. Now, offline and online. Let's go tell the world. Everybody have an amazing day. Have a spectacular week. Have an incredible month. Have the best year of your life. And I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.